What up though, YouTube? It's your boy Artie Ziff here from Pop the Boys, and if you clicked on the title of this video, you already know what you're here for. I'm not gonna, drag everything out. I'm gonna get straight to the point, just because this is not gonna be a traditional YouTube video. This is just kind of a rant, something I want to get off my chest. And I'm also not a person that's going to get on here and complain about the state of gaming, because don't get me wrong, gaming is in a great place. I know a lot of people say like gaming is not what it used to be. A lot of people look at it with rose-colored glasses. Of course, things are going to be the same as it was when you were younger, but gaming is in a great place. I'm not a person that plays only AAA titles and to get mad when AAA companies do AAA things, but I do indulge in AAA titles, and one of those things is WWE 2K24. I've played every wrestling game since I'm 29 years old. I've played every wrestling game that has been released since probably WCW versus NWO Revenge. I love wrestling. As you can tell, this is a channel about wrestling, and I'm going to continue to play wrestling games. But at the same time, we have to talk about the way that these companies charge us full price for games, and then charge us additional money to play things that they could have just updated and put in the game, right? And the reason I'm saying this is because the Pat McAfee pack. And I feel like when 2K dropped this pack, they are kind of laughing in our face. I think that they're laughing in our face. And the reason I say this is because it's a lot of new superstars you can drop. It's a lot of things that they can do with these DLC packs. And I feel like at this point, they're kind of mailing it in. And they're just saying, hey, whatever, we can go ahead and drop whatever. They already bought the DLC. They already spent extra money on top of that $70, and we can give them whatever. And I'll explain why I feel this way. Because like we have to get better content out of paying this amount of money for additional content that should already be in the game or updated within the game. For example, our first DLC pack, we got CM Punk, the Dudley Boys, Sandman, and Terry Funk. We got a DLC pack with 5 legends in it. CM Punk is somebody that's current. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like using what's in community creations. So this is great. CM Punk can be a part of your universe. Some of us make content around this. Some of us like to immerse and just have a good time offline, not streaming, making content, which a lot of people do. And they're playing their universe mode, or they're just playing with their friends, or they're using the animations and moves that are being added in these DLCs to create custom characters for whatever it is that they choose to do with their time. So I'm not mad at this pack. Then we get to the next pack. Post Malone, Sensational Sherry, Mosh and Thrasher, Honky Tonk Man. Post Malone being in the game, he's a celebrity. I think he executive produced the soundtrack last year, which makes sense. Sensational Sherry, I don't know too many people that's like, really clamoring to play with Sensational Sherry. Don't get me wrong, she's a legend. No disrespect, but at the same time, the age group that's playing this game didn't even see Sensational Sherry in the ring or manage or do anything. Mosh and Thrasher. Also, I remember Mosh and Thrasher because I'm old enough to remember the Headbangers. But even like as a kid watching the Headbangers, even like when the Headbangers were in the company and in video games, because this is not the first video game that they've been in, I don't remember being 5, 6 years old and thinking, I really want to play with the Headbangers on the game. Like you just gave me a DLC with a celebrity, a woman that a lot of people are not going to play with, a DLC with 2 jobbers in it. Like, let's keep it real. The Headbangers are jobbers. And then you got the Honky Tonk Man, which maybe, if my dad was playing this game, he might like Honky Tonk Man. But all of us that watch wrestling currently couldn't wait for Gunther to beat Honky Tonk Man's IC title run because it's a joke. It's a joke. But then the DLC packs get worse. And I'm going to read this all first. We have Pat McAfee, Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor, AJ Hawk, and Darius Butler. If you watch wrestling, you know who Pat McAfee is. Pat McAfee is a love it or hate it kind of guy. He's very polarizing. Me personally, I love Pat McAfee. I'm going to tell my girlfriend Pat McAfee is in the game, and she loves Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee is a cool dude. I'm not slandering Pat McAfee at all when it comes to this DLC pack. I love Pat. If he happens to see this, I love you, Pat. I doubt he will. But my issue with this is, if I'm Pat McAfee, I'm putting my friends on too. If I got a show, I'm putting my friends on too. We get to be in a video game that's cool. It's cross promotion for our brand. AJ Hawk is a linebacker, a Pro Bowl former linebacker. I believe he played for the Green Bay Packers. So some of you may know who that is. The other three, to even as somebody that's a wrestling fan, like unless you're a Pat McAfee show fan, Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor, and Darius Butler are nobodies. And here's why I have an issue with that. The reason that we play this game are for game modes. We play some play now. Some of us play online. Some of us, a lot of us play universe mode. Some of us play My Rise, but we're pretty much done with My Rise and the showcase mode at this point. So a lot of us are playing universe mode. And the point of universe is for us to create our own shows, and immerse, be general managers. I can't think of a single scenario to where any of us are incorporating Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor, and Darius Butler into our universe mode. Like, even somebody who, like, I would even admit in the first DLC pack, like, I don't really see Sandman too often or play with Sandman too often. But at the same time, he came with really dope animations. He came with really dope moveset. He came with a really dope entrance. So that's things that you can use for maybe your custom characters. They've already released the entrances for these characters, and they're just regular generic entrances of dudes that's coming out like in t-shirts. They're not even in wrestling gear, and I can't think of any way that you would incorporate these people into you trying to immerse into the game without essentially them being jobbers. And my problem with that is, yes, Pat McAfee being in the game makes sense. Pat McAfee is a part of wrestling culture now. He's on commentary. He's been in War Games matches. He had a hell of a match with Adam Cole. He had a match at WrestleMania. He was involved in a match that included Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I understand Pat McAfee being in the game. And we've had a long lineage of celebrities being in the game. I remember Fred Durst being in the old SmackDown games. But the difference between that was when I bought SmackDown on my PS2, I had the game. They didn't update it later and charge me for it to add Fred Durst in the game. Fred Durst was already a part of the game. I bought this game at full retail price, and either some of us bought the season pass separately, which we're in a recession right now. Money doesn't come by easy, or we spent an extra $30, an extra $80 to get a legendary edition, a WrestleMania edition, and we spent our hard-earned dollars for you to give us a DLC with a Ty Schmidt in it. Please tell me how that makes sense. I feel like these video game companies, WWE is such an established brand, 2K is such an established brand, that they know that regardless of what they release, we are going to buy it. So at this point, they're just saying, hey, you know what? We'll just release whatever. They'll buy it. They'll be okay. And now we're sitting here with the DLC with podcasters in it. With podcasters in it. So if this was something that was free, and don't get me wrong, this DLC is coming with a lot of dope animations for your moveset, but you could have just updated the game and put that in there. It's so many people that you could have put in this game. We're looking at a game right now that doesn't have 3 out of the 4 members of Metaphor in it, right? We're looking at a game that I believe Lyra Valkyria isn't in the game currently. We're still waiting on the Jade Cargill DLC. We're still waiting on the Nia Jax DLC. We're still waiting on, I know we just came. We got All Ego Ethan Page. We got Javon Evans. We have a lot of people that are on the roster that we would love to play with, and they are not in the game because 2K decided, you know what? We know you love wrestling. We know you watching NXT. We know you love Soul Ruka. But you know what? Here goes Darius Butler. And honestly, I think as somebody that spends their hard-earned dollars on video games, with games like this, that's showing that they can do whatever and get away with it when it comes to the consumer, we need to start putting our money where our mouth is. Let me know how you feel. Are you a fan of this pack? Are you a fan of everything that's come with the season pass? I honestly think with the money that we spent, we deserve more. But like I said before, man, Discord, merch, podcast, Twitch, all of those things. I'm not a YouTuber that's going to constantly beat those things down your throat. Maybe I need to get better at it, but at the same time, I appreciate the love on the shorts. We've already passed 200 subs, which I appreciate. I appreciate the love on the last video. I'm going to try to get more stuff rolling for you all, man. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know the drill, man. Be there or be squared. You know why? Y'all not going to be around, yo. Peace.